Coming up tonight on the news at 6. This New Year's Eve will look different because of COVID-19. Why that has law enforcement worried. Plus,
COVID made us come together as a family.
2020 wasn't all bad. We share some of your good stories.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening. Welcome to the News at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us. Well, Montana crosses a grim milestone on this final day of 2020. As of this afternoon, more than 1,000 Montanans have died as a result of COVID-19. 17 additional deaths were reported since last night, bringing the statewide death total to 1,006. The number of active cases continues to hover between 5,000 and 6,000. Active hospitalizations continue to fall and are currently right around 200. MTN uses a combination of state and local data to provide you with the most up-to-date numbers regarding COVID-19 in our state. And because of that, our numbers may differ from the state. And the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff is asking everyone in the county to celebrate the new year responsibly. Leo Dutton says his office will again have extra patrols out tonight looking for impaired drivers. He asked people to use common sense before getting behind the wheel and to follow COVID-19 guidelines. Now this year, local bars will be closing well before midnight due to COVID restrictions, and because of that, Dutton said he's concerned more people might be on the roads after drinking.
We're starting to see people that, okay, you can't be in a bar, so let's get in the vehicle, have a couple beers, and a couple turn into a couple more, and generally you'll do something that will attract our attention.
Dutton also reminded everyone to wear their seatbelt, saying it is the simplest thing you can do to protect yourself in case of a car crash. All right, and now with the last day of 2020 weather, here's Andy Curtis.
Yeah, not a very bad last day. Overcast across the state, a little windy in some spots, but temperature wasn't too bad and pretty calm as far as any kind of wintry weather goes. You can see a few snow showers up in the mountains out to the west, but we didn't see any of that here in central and north central Montana. Taking a real quick look, if you are going anywhere tonight, at some of the passes. Rogers Pass looked pretty clear earlier today, but that doesn't mean it is all clear. Be careful if you're going up over Rogers Pass or Mac Pass. I think that looks a little slick. Nothing compared to what we were seeing yesterday, but you can only get so much from these storm tracker weather cams that we got up there. So please be careful if you're driving anywhere tonight for tons of reasons, but weather, of course, being one of them. Smell you later, 2020. We are leaving this one in the dust, and we are leaving it with a little bit of wind blowing us into 2021. That wind will be sticking around over the next couple of days and right into the weekend, and we might have a little bit of rain and snow Sunday and Monday. I'll tell you more about that in the full forecast.
All right, thanks, Andy. After a very unpredictable year, Carroll College officials say they are proud of how 2020 turned out. The school's president spoke with us about 2020 and what's ahead in 2021. MTN's Alexia Guayo reports.
Carroll College had a rather unique school year in 2020.
We moved 100% of our spring courses to remote delivery in less than 3 weeks.
Then in the fall, Carroll College established a bubble for its students so in-person classes can resume. The result is one of their biggest accomplishments in 2020.
Carroll was one of 27% of colleges and universities in America that were able to remain in person without a single day of remote delivery. We were proud of that.
Carroll College hopes to continue their positive momentum into the spring 2021 semester with another bubble for students and the Realign, Reinvest, and Reimagine Our Future plan. This plan includes a balanced budget for 2021 and a commitment for Carroll College to continue its growth in providing programs related to helping others. In the fall, 75% of students enrolled into the so-called helping fields, such as nursing and psychology. Dr. Seck looks to a bright 2021 school year.
As our population members receive the vaccine and we return to what the new normal is, I think the world is going to emerge from this much stronger.
Carroll College is already bouncing back stronger. Their amount of paid deposits for the fall 2021 semester doubled compared to 2019. In Helena, I'm Alexia Guayo, MTN News.
Here's a pretty cool statistic for you. More than 500 registered nurses in Montana are Carroll College grads, and the college hopes to continue training students in the field with 2 new programs in 2021. And availability of affordable housing has always been an issue in Montana, but it seems to have taken on added importance during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Montana Housing Coalition, since 1990, Montana rents have increased 26% compared to 16% nationally. Home ownership rates in the Treasure State have dropped from 70% to 67% since 2006. The coalition is a statewide group of developers, communities, agencies, and others dedicated to changing those stats.
People who are very interested in making sure that we have enough housing in Montana that's affordable to working families, seniors, and those persons with permanent disabilities.
Coming up tonight at 10, Rice will share some of the legislation the group is working on for the upcoming session. And Montana's minimum wage will go up tomorrow. The minimum wage will increase by 10 cents per hour to $8.75. The Department of Labor and Industry estimates the increase will impact between 8,000 and 10,000 workers. That is about 2% of the workforce. Montana's minimum wage is adjusted annually based on inflation as a result of a 2006 ballot initiative passed by Montana voters. And after more than a decade of work, Prickly Pear Land Trust has officially acquired more than 300 acres of old Isarco property for a new trail system outside East Helena. MTN's John Riley has more.
11 years ago, a small group of individuals came together to see what could be done with the old Isarco property. Thanks to community and state investment, the area will now be an 8-mile trail system. On Thursday, community partners gathered at the site to celebrate the property officially coming under the ownership of Prickly Pear Land Trust.
You know, this is a milestone we've been working towards for over 10 years, and all of the right pieces fell into place, so it's just thrilling to be here.
The Greenway project will connect East Helena schools with Montana City and will even offer fishing access. East Helena schools will assume stewardship of the land once the project is finished. East Helena Council member Kelly Harris said he's thrilled for the project and what it means for the community and future generations.
I'm excited, and I think most I'm excited is that it'll be an asset that lasts forever. We can pass this on to the future, to our kids, their kids' kids. The nature is why we're here. Growing up here, I love the outdoors, and I'm just excited that the kids of East Helena and the future generations will have this as an entity.
Prickly Pear Land Trust is working with the State of Montana Natural Resource Damage Program, who have allocated $3.2 million for development at the site. Although purchasing the land is a huge milestone, completing an 8-mile trail system is no walk in the park, and it'll still be a while before everything's finished. However, once the project is completed, it promises to be an amazing addition and asset for generations to come. Reporting in East Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
4 area communities are getting more than $1 million in community development block grants from the state. The Montana Department of Commerce announced $5.2 million in grants for 12 communities across the state, and among those 12 are Shelby, Hill County, Lewis and Clark County, and Pend Oreille County. Shelby is getting $450,000 for water system upgrades. Hill County is getting $260,500 for water system upgrades. Lewis and Clark County is getting $450,000 to upgrade the roof and improve energy efficiency at the Good Samaritan thrift store. Pend Oreille County is getting $450,000 for heating, air conditioning, and lighting upgrades at Pend Oreille County Medical Center. And still ahead on the news at 6, 2020 wasn't all bad. We'll share some of your good stories next.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. For many, 2020 was a dark and challenging year, but even in darkness, there are always rays of light. And some saw the pandemic as a path to learn a new skill, grow their family, or relocate for a better quality of life. MTN's Sam Hoyle hit the streets in Helena today and has some of those good stories for us tonight.
2020 was, well, a year that we'll hopefully remember and forget all at the same time. But that doesn't mean that this year was entirely all bad. We at MTN chatted with a handful of people here on the Walking Mall in downtown Helena to see what was one good thing that happened to them this year. For some folks, 2020 was the year that brought them to Big Sky Country.
We moved here to Helena.
Oh, this is your first year in Helena?
It is. We just moved here not even a month ago quite yet.
I moved from Cleveland, Ohio to Helena July 1st.
Families came together.
COVID made us come together as a family. We got to spend a lot more time with the family.
Birthdays were still something to be excited about.
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing for your birthday?
We're going to the trampoline park. The trampoline park, yeah.
And for some, it was all about the little things.
Got a guitar when the COVID shutdown started happening, and I've graduated from playing Smoke on the Water to a couple Led Zeppelin songs and just kind of working my way through an instrument I haven't played in a long time.
And that was only just a short handful of the people that I chatted with here at the Walking Mall in downtown Helena, where they shared their bright spots of the year with me. To see more, you can check out our website. Reporting in Helena, Sam Hoyle, MTN News.
Nice to see some good 2020 stories. And Andy, do you have some good weather news?
I just might. If you like warmer temperatures, I got a great forecast for you. If you hate wind, you still are going to want to watch this. I'll tell you everything I know about the weather coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. Andy Curtis filling in for Curtis Grevenance one more time tonight, and not a bad way to end the day up around Great Falls. 37 degrees right now. Now, it is a little windier, though, 20 miles per hour. That's the current wind speed. That's actually a lot calmer than what we were seeing in the 5 o'clock, but still feels like 27 degrees. So a chillier end to the day, but still, I think those temperatures aren't the worst in the world. Helena, though, looking pretty good. 39 degrees, wind almost non-existent once again around the capital city. So another calm end to another calm day around Helena. Now, the wind speeds will be picking up across Helena and, of course, up around Great Falls and north central Montana over the next couple of days. So expect that. Temperatures will also be on the rise, though, so you get a little bit of the good with a little bit of the bad. And right now, not too bad up in Havre. Cut bank 15 miles per hour, so that's doable. 22 in Livingston, that's usually the measuring stick for how windy everything else is here in the States. So Great Falls and Livingston are pretty close to one another as wind speed goes. So just take that for what it's worth. And here's what we're looking at tomorrow. First day of 2021, and it's a lot like the last day of 2020 as far as wind goes. Still sticking around, especially in spots around Great Falls and, of course, Cut Bank and up along the Rocky Mountain front. Going to be seeing some sustained strong winds per usual. And Friday, it becomes more widespread. So even though it's calm here today, calm in Helena today, and will be calm tomorrow, Friday night into Saturday, that wind speed's going to pick up, and we have a windy but warm weekend ahead of us. Just across the map, wind speeds 40, 50 miles per hour. Purple usually means 60, and we're seeing a lot of purple along the Rocky Mountain front there. So a windy weekend is expected, but again, with that will be some pretty warm temperatures. So a little bit of the good and a little bit of the bad, like I was saying. Temperatures across the state right now, not too bad. We're in the mid-30s, high 20s in a few spots, but around 38, 37, 36, that looks to be the average. So not the worst thing, not the worst way to end December across Montana especially. I'd say those are pretty warm, on the side of unseasonably warm temperatures. Now also, because unseasonably has been kind of the word of the week, we're not going to be seeing any new snow as we head into the weekend. And actually, the next 7 days or so, it doesn't look like there's a lot of snow in the forecast. Just a few snow showers up in the higher elevations out to the west, but nothing really substantial. Maybe a little bit this weekend, but because of the temperatures we're going to be seeing, right here, 50 degrees and a little bit less warm than that. But because of those temperatures, any kind of precipitation we get won't really turn into snow. It'll be more on the rain side of things. So 7-day forecast for Great Falls, 46 tomorrow for the first day of 2021. And then that wind, 47, 46 miles per hour, pushing 50 at times. Sustained wind in the 20s and 30s over the next couple of days. But with that, the warm temperatures, like I was saying, 47 on Saturday, 50 on Sunday. And then we take a little bit of a nosedive back down to January-like temperatures, 31 on Monday with the wind still sticking around. And then I just gave up trying to guess the speeds. It's just going to be breezy for the rest of the week around Great Falls. In Helena, a little cooler, a little less windier though. 37 tomorrow, good amount of sunshine, and then 39, 42, 40. So we're going to stay pretty consistent in the 40s. That wind whipping up on Saturday and Sunday starts to die down though on Monday, and then Monday night, or Monday after 11 o'clock rather, in the afternoon is when we can expect a little of a rain snow mixture, but more on the rain side. So warm and windy is how we're going to kick off 2021.
All right, thanks Andy. Coming up, a look back at 2020 in sports.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. COVID-19 changed, canceled, and delayed sports throughout 2020. But Montana found a way to play through it. As our year comes to a close, MTN's Isaiah Dunk takes us through some of the biggest sports moments in Helena and Great Falls.
2020 was a sports year unlike any other, but despite the challenges, athletes from Lewis and Clark County all the way to Sheridan County found ways to excel. Before COVID-19 disrupted our world, there were a few champions crowned from our viewing area, starting with the Providence women's basketball team, who completed a remarkable run to a Frontier Conference Tournament championship, clinching them a spot in the national tournament that would eventually be canceled. And there was another incredible run on the wrestling mats. The 10-seeded Helena native Nick Kuntz won an NAIA national championship at 125 pounds for MSU Northern. Staying on the mat, Great Falls High won its first Class AA title since 2015, and the Glasgow Scotties were back on top as well, collecting their first championship since 2010. At the pool, Great Falls High, CMR, Helena High, and Havre all had individual boys champions at the 2020 state swim meet. Then in March, the infamous weekend at state basketball tournaments. Fresh off the high of winning semifinal games, the Belt and Roy Winifred girls, Scobie boys, Fairfield boys, and the Helena Capital girls were told their seasons were suddenly over. They each earned co-champion state titles. Then a long pause. Track and field, softball, tennis were canceled. Then came the rodeos, from the Montana State Fair to the long-running Augusta Rodeo. The Great Falls Voyagers never took the field in 2020, and local Legion teams dealt with bizarre schedules. In the fall, we lost an icon when Highline football legend Mike Tillman died at age 76. Tillman starred at Chinook High School before a college career at Montana and 11 seasons in the NFL. When fall sports came back, our area teams stood out once again. The Townsend girls won the State B cross-country title, and Freud Medicine Lake won the six-man football championship, bringing the program its first football title. It wasn't the massive all-class state tournament, but Helena Capital's volleyball girls didn't care. The Bruins made it a Class AA three-peat, handing CMR its first loss of the season in the state championship. Aside from championships, our athletes raked in the accolades. Providence's Zacchaeus Darko Kelly proved he's one of the best in the country, with 3 National Player of the Week distinctions. And despite not throwing a pitch, Great Falls High softball star Anna Toon won her second Gatorade Player of the Year. COVID will certainly affect sports well into 2021, but if this year is any evidence, there will still be plenty of great moments. For the last time in 2020, reporting in Great Falls, Isaiah Dunk, MTN Sports.
All right, and we'll wrap things up here on the last 6 o'clock newscast of 2020 when we come back.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. 2021 is not the only thing the Louisville Zoo is celebrating. They welcomed a new baby seal pup. It is the first pup born to the zoo's 6-year-old gray seal, Rona. Zoo officials say the red light you see in this video helps create a soothing atmosphere while allowing staff to keep an eye on them in the dark. They're monitoring the mother and pup very closely, but also giving them enough room to bond without distraction. The pair will be off exhibit for several weeks as the bonding process continues, and they will find out the pup's gender soon. But also, the zoo will be holding a naming contest.
Taking a look at the 7-day forecast around Helena, starting the new year off right, I'd say 37 degrees for the expected high tomorrow on Friday, and a good amount of sunshine, not too bad, but that wind will be sticking around through the weekend, keeping temperatures on the warm side, pushing 42 degrees on Sunday in the capital city. Then in Great Falls, it's going to be warmer, but a whole heck of a lot windier. Almost 50-mile-per-hour gusts can be expected on Sunday, but also 50 degrees in temperature for the high.
All right, that does it for the news at 6. We'll be back here with your last newscast of 2020 tonight at 10. We'll see you then.